Meanwhile, communities around Spokane and Spokane County still have a thick layer of ice on the ground from last week's snowstorm. KREM 2's Janelle Finch has been checking on neighborhoods tonight. And Janelle, what have you found?
Mark, I am up on the South Hill right now where flurries are just starting to come down, but with more snow on the way, some people are wondering if it will cause more problems for streets that are still covered in last week's snow and slush. The city says it completed its full city plow on Saturday, but homeowners I spoke to today beg to differ with that statement. Inland Northwesters are trying to get ahead of winter weather, but some people living on streets still covered with snow from the last storm are feeling a little left behind.
The road in front of my house is still covered in snow,
which can leave room for more problems.
Crest line was covered not only in snow, but because it wasn't plowed for a few days after we had the major snowstorm, got covered in a layer of really slick ice. And then when we had the fog, we had some freezing rain, it really became treacherous.
The city says it understands people's frustrations during the winter. City Communications Manager Kirsten Davis says last week's snowstorm put city plows to work.
One of the challenges with this snowfall was we had so much come down. And so it's always a challenge because those crews have to keep going back over those arterials. And so those residential areas get pretty deep, and then it kind of warmed up, so it got slushy, and then it freezes. So it's challenging.
She says the way the city clears off roads can be different every snowfall.
I think people think that there's sort of a perfect system to it, and we have all the pieces, but how the puzzle comes together is different every time the weather changes.
And while most understand the city has a lot of ground to cover in a full city plow, when streets get left behind or need a second run through, some people wonder if the city has enough resources to handle the winter weather.
I know that when it gets to be this time of year, those workers are putting in long hours. And if there are more of them, they'll be able to get to other areas of the city. But the city has to be willing to invest the resources to make that happen.
The city says it has already used nearly 200,000 gallons of liquid de-icer and 400 tons of granular sand. But the city says it still feels prepared for the rest of the winter ahead. If you feel like your street still needs to see a plow, you can request one by dialing 311. Live in Spokane, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.